Part 5. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 41. The boss of the city of the dead has also come to attack. Lu Shu's eyes suddenly narrowed. Basically, the entire city of the dead came to attack the sacred tree island. However, there was a fighting spirit in Lu Shu's eyes. What a great time to come. Anyway, sooner or later this copy will be available. It's better to kill you quickly now. In the field of vision, an evil spirit with a body full of will-o'-the-wisps and a body as huge as a mountain appeared directly above the sacred tree island. The boss's data panel appeared in front of Lu Shu's eyes. Evil Spirit Khe. Category, Evil Spirit. Danger Coefficient, A. Perception Range, 50 meters. Power, 230. Speed, 200. Defense, 250. Skills, Blade of the Dead, Roar of the Evil Spirit, Spirit Puncture, Fire of the Dead. Description, Legend. Every year, the demons in Castlevania will find a person with the craziest soul, refine his soul, and after enduring hellish pain, create an evil spirit that can be called a work of art. Bug. The evil spirit Khe roared. In its hand, a 10-meter-long sword was transformed. The armor and the blade burst out with blue flames. That is the will-o'-the-wisp power that high-level evil spirits can use. 100,000 volts. Pikachu released its thunder and lightning power towards the evil spirit Khe. However, when the lightning fell on the evil spirit Khe's armor, it could not penetrate even a single inch. The evil spirit Khe turned around, shouted angrily, and headed towards Pikachu, slashed with his sword. Pikachu jumped away quickly. The will-o'-the-wisp on the tip of the sword fell to the ground, immediately opening a 30-meter-long ravine. Its attack power can be described as shocking. Although the power is great, the speed is very slow. Lu Shu looked calm and saw the other party's shortcomings at a glance. Roar. When the evil spirit Khe saw that his attack could not hit Pikachu, he immediately let out a deafening roar. The evil spirit Khe launched the evil spirit roar. The attributes of nearby creatures that are harmed will be reduced. When the roar of the evil spirits spread, the attributes of all the surrounding Pikachus dropped by 1 level. At this time, the threat of the evil spirit Khe has increased a lot. Pikachu's physique is relatively weak. If he is hit by the evil spirit Khe, his defense will be difficult to withstand it. Umi, use your energy. Pikachu, dodge the opponent's skills. Under Lu Shu's command, a green light curtain suddenly lit up on Pikachu's body. Then, Pikachu's condition recovered instantly, and its movement speed also received a great bonus. The evil spirit Khe slashed the attack came, and Pikachu quickly dodged. It narrowly escaped the attack. Pikachu, circling around the evil spirit Khe, trying to find a way to get closer. Umi, use the fishing missile. Attack its armor. Lu Shu commanded calmly. The ballistic trajectory of the fishing missile is very long. Moreover, the flight trajectory can be controlled at will. With the speed of Pikachu, Yumi's fishing missile can easily attack the evil spirit Khe. However, when the fishing missile hit the evil spirit Khe, it was also resisted by this armor. After the evil spirit Khe was attacked, although it was not painful or itchy, it could not tolerate the presence of the enemy, and again growl angrily. The evil spirit Khe is using psychic piercing. Psychic puncture attacks Pikachu invisibly. Umi, release the shield. Lu Shu reminded. The next second, a layer of goose yellow shield appeared on Pikachu's body. Yumi's continuous hitting and blocking, when attacking the evil spirit Khe, instantly released a layer of shield. Spiritual. The piercing attack was blocked by the shield. He released a lightning attack again. But no matter how he attacked, evil spirit Khe's armor blocked all damage. Neither the 100,000 volts nor the fishing missiles could damage this boss. Effective damage. Pikachu did not waste any more mental energy to attack, and instead used his dexterity to avoid the long knife of the evil spirit Kahi. The situation was temporarily in a stalemate. Can't cause harm. Lushu watched the battle on the field and frowned slightly. Lightning powers should be able to restrain evil spirits. But Pikachu's thunder and lightning had no effect on the evil spirit Kahi. There's something weird about this guy's armor. You have to break the armor on it first. Lushu narrowed his eyes slightly and saw the clues. The will-o'-the-wisp armor of the evil spirit Kahi is the main reason why he has such a strong combat power. Turning his eyes, Lushu suddenly saw the artificial rivers surrounding the island. All river water is holy water purified by the Holy Grail, which has the effect of restraining the undead and purifying curses. Got it? I can use holy water to purify the armor on the evil spirit Kahi. Even if high-level evil spirits are immune to lightning-type abilities, they are definitely not immune to evolution. Thinking of this, Lushu condensed a clone. After the clone appeared, he immediately rushed towards the battlefield. Uamai, possess me. Lushu said. One of the Uamai saw Lushu coming to the battlefield and immediately withdrew from Pikachu. After being possessed by Uamai, Lushu activated the shadow movement speed and turned into an afterimage. The speed was extremely amazing. Not long after, he arrived near the evil spirit Kahi. Time flies. The next second, Lushu used his innate level martial arts skills. Boom! A violent sound of water sounded. The holy water stored in the surrounding man-made rivers all rose into the sky, and under Lushu's control, turned into a whirlpool of holy water. Sweeping towards the evil spirit Kahi. The evil spirit Kahi roared, and groups of will-o'-wisps appeared around him. The evil spirit Kahi is launching the undead fire field. Huge blue will-o'-the-wisps rose up one after another from the evil spirit Kahi's body. However, when the will-o'-the-wisp comes into contact with the holy water, it is immediately purified by the holy light. Lushu used Star Shift, and all the holy water turned into a whirlpool, swallowing up the evil spirit Kahi. No. The evil spirit Kahi let out a cry of pain. The armor surrounded by ghostly fire began to fall apart after being purified by the holy water. Pikachu, use 100,000 volts. Lu Shu commanded calmly. All the Pikachus quickly came to the side of the evil spirit Kahi. 100,000 volts. The next second, the endless thunder light suddenly drowned the evil spirit Kahi. I will make you never reincarnate forever. Before the evil spirit Kahi died, he let out an impotent and furious roar. Then, its figure completely disappeared in the terrifying lightning. You killed the evil spirit Kahi, and your defense points add 100,000. Instantly increase by 100,000 points. Lushu's heart moved slightly. As a difficult level boss, evil spirit Kahi is very powerful, so he also gained a lot of defense points. After eliminating this difficult boss, the mobs behind will be much easier. Next, Lushu's clone also joined the battle. After killing the evil spirit Kahi, there were still some ordinary dead souls around. We only need to clear them all to complete the day's defense. Ziza. Ziza. Finally, the last undead also died in the lightning. Open the panel, defense point, 397,222. Nearly 400,000 defense points. Lushu was surprised when he saw this number. You know, it was only 100,000 defense points on the first day. By the second day of the invasion of the Grey World, after killing all the monsters, this number had already reached such a terrifying level. It's so bad. If other Sacred Tree Masters were to see this value on the ranking list, wouldn't they be frightened? This is only the second day. Lushu still has the last day left. This means that his points are still, it can continue to skyrocket. Then, the system sent prompts one after another. You successfully withstood the attack the next day. The reward is x10,000 for junior souls, x2,000 for intermediate souls, and x100 for advanced souls. Reward Advanced Skills Illustrated Book, Minor. Reward Intermediate Skills Illustrated, Carpentry. Reward Advanced Skill Illustration, Carpentry. Reward Revenant Boots, Gold Level, X1. Reward Revenant Long Knife, Platinum Level, X1. Reading books on May Day is a joy. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 42. Do you want to learn the Advanced Skill Illustrated Book, Minor? Yes. Do you want to study the Intermediate Skills Illustrated Book, Carpentry? Yes. Do you want to learn the Advanced Skills Illustrated Book, Carpentry? Yes. The next second. Lushu's 2 construction skills have been upgraded to advanced levels. In addition to building higher quality and faster, you can also use rare materials to build special defense buildings. Then, focusing on 2 pieces of equipment. Revenant Boots. Category, Protective Boots. Grade, Gold Level. Attributes, Defense add 10, Movement Speed add 30, Curse Resistance add 5. Description, a must-have armor for walking in Castlevania. Revenant Long Knife. Type, Weapon. Grade, Platinum Level. Attributes, Attack Power add 100, Attack Speed add 10, Revenant Restraint add 10, Critical Hit Rate add 5%, Durability 550. Skills, Revenant Tier. Set, Revenant 8-piece set, 5/8. Effect, Revenant Perception add 10, Curse Resistance add 50, Evil Resistance add 30, Critical Hit Rate add 20%, Blessing add 5. Description, a weapon specially used to kill evil spirits. Already a 5-piece set. Only then did Lushu react. When a difficult level boss comes to attack your own island, it seems like you can kill it faster. Only 3 pieces of equipment are needed to make up an 8-piece set. Now the attributes of the 5-piece set are already very strong. If it is only used by Lushu alone, he will be immune to most damage from the dead souls. Cutting down monsters below the boss level, including elite monsters, is like cutting leeks. There is also the invasion of the last difficult level boss. Lushu took a deep breath. The strength of the evil spirit Kei is similar to that of Red Melee. 100 Pikachu and Uami fought with Lushu's body. Although the battle process was a bit difficult, the overall difficulty was not very big. But what Lushu will face next is the attack of Magic Sound Holy Land. Compared with the previous 2 difficult level dungeons, the difficulty coefficient of Magic Sound Holy Land has reached a level. As you can imagine. What happens next? The battle will be more difficult. Lushu glanced at the battlefield and found that Pikachu was already a little tired. Fighting with so many evil spirits is not a small consumption for Pikachu. Pikachu's mental strength is failing. Lushu frowned slightly. He had to find a way to restore Pikachu's mental power. But the remaining time may not be enough. Suddenly, Lushu remembered that there were 99 heavenly stars in his warehouse. The spiritual fruit was not taken. Correct. When Pikachu swallows the Sky Spirit fruit, it will evolve. Not only can the attributes be comprehensively improved, but the mental power will also be restored to full state instantly. Lushu immediately called all the Pikachus. However, the question came. How to divide the 99 Sky Spirit fruits into 100 Pikachus? Lushu thought for a while. How about you each try eating half? The first Pikachu stepped forward and tried to eat half of the Sky Spirit fruit. Boom! Something surprising happened. It only took half of the Sky Spirit fruit, and Pikachu's attributes evolved. Pikachu. Type, Pokemon. Power, 100,000 volts, Shock Fruit. Physical, C+. Speed, A. Mental, A+. Overall potential, S+. Is it just mental strength that increases? Lushu saw that Pikachu's other attributes have not changed. The comprehensive potential has not been improved to SS. However, Pikachu's mental power has returned to full state. And the level of mental power has also increased. The most important things are all there. Lushu expected it. Come and eat the rest. Lu Shu said with a smile. All Pikachus have improved their attributes after eating half of the Sky Spirit fruit. Ding! You have obtained a Shadow Fruit. At this time, Lushu's Shadow Fruit has also been produced. The battle on another sacred tree island had ended a day ago. Just as the final battle is about to begin, the Shadow Fruit matures. Lushu took advantage of the fact that the invasion of the Grey World had not yet arrived on the third day and immediately went to the Shadow Divine Tree. Swallow the Shadow Fruit. You swallowed the Shadow Fruit, and the Shadow Assassin's level was upgraded to the advanced level. The next second, Lushu's career panel was immediately updated. Occupation. Name, Shadow Assassin. Level, Master. Attributes, Attack power at 50, Speed at 100, Dodge at 35. Skills. Shadow Movement Speed, LV2 Transform into a Shadow, Movement Speed at 50. Integrate into the Night, LV2 In the Dark, Blend into the Night, Immune to 80% of physical damage, Movement Speed at 10. Shadow Escape, LV2 Perform a teleport within a range of 100 meters. Demonic Thousand Blades, LV1 Your weapon blade can be split into 1,000 fragments, each fragment causing 5% damage to the enemy. Available skill points, 5. Demonic Thousand Blades. Lushu turned his attention to new skills. This range type skill made Lushu very satisfied. If his mental power is strong enough, he can control the trajectory of each magic knife and kill every enemy accurately. Try to level up first. Ding! Your magic Thousand Blades has been upgraded to LV2. The damage of each fragment has been increased from the original 5% to 3%. Will it increase by 3% if you upgrade to a level? This is good value for money. Just add this one. Lushu doesn't have that big of a need in terms of speed for the time being. To resist the invasion of the Grey World, he needs more range killing skills. Similar to Pikachu's 100,000 volts. Ding! Your Demonic Thousand Blades have been upgraded to LV6. Demonic Thousand Blades, LV6 Your weapon blade can be split into 1,000 fragments, each fragment causing 20% damage to the enemy. After doing all this, a reminder popped up in front of Lushu's eyes. The third day of the invasion of the Grey Realm is coming. The island where Lushu's body is located. At this time, all Pikachus have returned to their peak mental state. Uami, get possessed. Lushu said. When Uami possessed Pikachu. Pikachu. Type, Pokemon. Power, 100,000 volts, Shock Fruit. Physical, C+. Speed, A. Spirit, S. Comprehensive Potential, SS. It actually reached SS level. Lushu showed an unexpected expression. Possessed by Uami, it can increase Pikachu's mental power. In addition, Pikachu's current mental power has reached A and level. With the blessing of possession, it suddenly reached S level. Mental power. And once you cross from a level to S level, it will bring about transformation. The invasion of the Grey World begins. A prompt pops up in front of you. Immediately afterwards, in the grey mist, figures of witches suddenly floated out. Their forms are all spiritual bodies. In his hand, he holds an instrument similar to a pipa. Magical musical girl. Category, cursed living dead, musician. Danger factor, A. Perception range, 40 meters. Power, 50. Speed, 35. Defense, 70. Skills, magical musical sound, mental fury. Less than a moment later, hundreds of figures of the demonic musical girl emerged from the grey mist, floating in the sky above the sacred tree island. Get lost in the chaos of magical sounds. The sneer of the demonic musical girl rang out. She strummed the strings. The entire sacred tree island was suddenly filled with harsh magical sounds. The magic musical girls collectively activate the magical musical sound and become violent mentally. If other sacred tree masters were to face so many demonic music girls at the same time, I am afraid they would lose themselves directly in the magic sound, not even being able to release their superpowers, and their minds would be swallowed up by the terrifying magic sound. However, except Lushu didn't feel anything, 100 Pikachus also expressed their calmness. Pikachu's mental power reaches S level and is immune to magic sounds. The effect of your revenant suit is triggered, making you immune to the magic sound. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 43. Pikachu, come on. Lu. Shu said immediately. Since the attack of the demonic piano girl is ineffective against Pikachu and himself, there is nothing to be afraid of. The attributes of the demonic piano girl are not much higher than those of the elite monsters in the city of the dead, but the magic piano is very troublesome. It will cause a large area attack. However, if the mental strength attribute is far greater than the magic piano girl, it will be useless no matter how many monsters come. Ziza. Ziza. Pikachu releases 100,000 volt. Mental power has been upgraded to S level. The power of lightning is higher than before. Even at a glance, it is easy to see that Pikachu's skills have been strengthened in all aspects. This is the huge increase brought about by the improvement of mental power. Come on, the magic sounds of these magic piano girls have all turned into electronic music. You killed the magic musical girl, and your defense points add 60. You killed the magic musical girl, and your defense points add 60. In the grey fog, the magic piano girl keeps appearing. Lushu also joined the battle at this time. It's just time for you to test the power of the magic knife blade. Crack. Click. Release the 1,000 blades of the demonic knife. The dead soul's broadsword in Lushu's hand immediately broke into thousands of fragments. Swish, swish, swish. Each blade cut through the air, producing a harsh sonic boom, and headed towards the demonic piano girl. Flying over, the sword flashed. In an instant, a large number of demonic musical girls died under this blow. Is this skill too strong? Lushu was slightly startled. The lethality of the 1,000-blade demon knife was beyond his imagination. However, if it were an ordinary shadow assassin, using the 1,000-blade demon knife would never be able to cause the effect that Lushu had. The demonic musical girl has a restraining effect. Coupled with Lushu's level, which was upgraded to the innate level, the 5-piece set of the Dead Soul and the Longsword of the Dead Soul also have a 25% critical hit rate. 1,000 blades, how many critical hits can it produce? Killing the demonic musical girl instantly in a large area is naturally not a problem. This 1,000-edged magic sword is worth upgrading. Lushu's eyes lit up. After some professions are upgraded to advanced levels, if there is a correct growth path, the potential is not small. If the demon sword 1,000 blades is upgraded to the top level and has 100% damage, the scene is simply unimaginable. After half a day of fighting, A large number of demonic musical girls have died in Lu Shu's hands. After Pikachu's mental power is upgraded to S level, the consumption of releasing 100,000 volts is much smaller than that of a level, and it can basically be used. There was a large-scale sweep on the battlefield. Lu Shu opened the panel, defense points, 623,333. Just by killing the demonic musical girl, the defense points gained were not a small amount. Not to mention that there is a boss behind. Gen. At this moment, a more harsh magic sound came from the grey mist. Is the boss coming? Lu Shu looked into the distance and narrowed his eyes. Magic sound Saint. Category, Cursed Living Dead, Lu the Earth. Danger coefficient, S. Perception range, 100 meters. Power, 250. Speed, 220. Defense, 270. Skills, Pierce Magic Sound Guard Array, Magic Sound Fury, Magic Sound Grand Formation, Crazy Demonic Sound Dance. Description: the Demon King of Castlevania is a demon who loves art. Almost every once in a while, he listens to a refreshing piece of music. The demonic sound saint is deeply loved by the Demon King. Magic Sound Protector. Category, Cursed Living Dead, Musician. Danger Factor, A+. Perception Range, 80 meters. Power, 120. Speed, 115. Defense, 105. Skills, Piercing Magic Sound Protection Array, Magic Sound Array. Description: it is the band of the Magic Sound Saint. Only the piano girls who have shown extremely high attainments in musical talent will be selected. In addition to the demonic sound girl, 100 demonic sound protectors follow the magic sound girl to protect her. Get lost in the magic sound. The magic sound guardians formed a large formation and began to play the magic sound. Waves of maddening magic sounds echoed throughout the entire Sacred Tree Island. You suffered from the violent sound of magic, your attributes and resistance were reduced, and you entered a weak state. Lu Shu frowned slightly. The magic sound array can combine the sounds of the magic sound guardian's piano. The puncture force is doubled. At this time, resistance becomes less useful. Under the cover of UMI, Pikachu tried using 100,000 volts. However, electrical powers are not that effective against the magic sound guardian. Before the lightning even touched the magic sound protector, it was shattered by the sound of the piano. The demonic musical girl, the protector, and the saint are not considered dead souls. Electrical abilities are not very effective in restraining them. Judging from the description, both the undead and the living dead are creatures refined by demons. Electrical abilities are useful against low-level monsters such as undead, but they are generally less effective against demons, or the living dead carefully raised by demons. Lu Shu quickly analyzed the situation on the field. The first thing to deal with is this big formation. The magic sound has a violent effect and can make thunder and lightning ineffective. However, thunder and lightning, as a natural attribute, will be affected by the sound of the piano. Interference, magic is not necessarily the case. UMI, use the grimoire finale. Pikachu, quickly move to a location where magic can attack. After breaking through the formation, immediately use the power of the shock fruit to kill them instantly. Lu Shu commanded. The next second, a secret magic book suddenly appeared out of thin air above Yumi's head. When the last page of this magic book was turned, violent magic power emerged. Golden the ripples carried the supreme meaning, like a huge wave, surging crazily towards the position of the magic sound protector. 100 Yumi, using the final chapter of the magic book at the same time. Suddenly, the large formation composed of the magic sound protector was covered by golden the light curtain shrouded. It was like the sun falling to the ground. All the magic sounds were unable to interfere with this majestic magic bombardment, and it fell apart. Boom! The golden magic power that emerged from the final chapter of the magic book, with the sacred breath, bombarded when they were on the magic sound protector, they suffered huge damage. At this time, the magic sound formation could no longer hold up and collapsed instantly. The moment Pikachu broke through the formation, he released the power of the shock fruit with all his strength. Because of this, most of the monsters in the magic sound Holy Land are living dead, not dead souls, so they are not immune to physical damage. 100 Pikachus released the power of the shock fruit with all their strength at the same time. At that moment, a natural disaster came. A series of ferocious cracks, sweeping towards the defense line of the formation. Click! Click! The space was like shattered glass, with countless jenning cracks appearing. And in those cracks, the body of the demonic sound protector was suddenly divided into countless movies. The death situation could not be more miserable. You killed the magic sound protector, defense points add 2000. You killed the magic sound protector, defense points add 2000. Just killing one of these limited level elite monsters will bring you quite a lot of defense points. When the aftermath of the shaking fruit dissipated, on the field, only the demonic musical girl was left, sheltered in a dark protective shield. The last magic sound protective formation allowed the magic sound saint to survive by chance. However, the piano in her hand was completely broken. What else can the magic sound saint do without her piano? You despicable beasts! How dare you destroy my piano? No! No! If that master can't hear the sound of the slave's piano, he will definitely kill me. The voice of the demonic sound saint revealed anger and fear, and her expression suddenly became ferocious and twisted. You all must die. The next second, the holy maiden of demonic sound began to dance an extremely strange dance. The magic sound saint is launching a crazy magic sound dance. Go into berserk mode. Gain physical resistance, mental resistance, and magic resistance. Within 10 minutes, if the holy maiden of demonic sound cannot be killed, everyone within the range will lose themselves in madness. However, before the demonic sound saint could jump around for a long time, 1,000 blades suddenly came from the void, and the sharp blades, carrying the purifying holy water, penetrated the demonic sound saint's body. In essence, the ability of the demonic sound saint comes from the curse of the demon king. The purification of holy water has a complete restraint effect on this power. Do you want to dance too? Lu Shu sneered. His mental power controlled thousands of blades and instantly pierced the whole body of the holy maiden of demonic sound. Prosperity, end of song. At last, there was a trace of confusion in the eyes of the demonic sound saint. Her figure slowly disappeared into the air. You killed the magic sound saint, and your defense points add 200,000. The rewards are X10086 for elementary souls, X2333 for intermediate souls, and X666 for advanced souls. Reward primary skill illustrated book, Qin Yi. Reward intermediate skills illustrated book, Qin Yi. Reward advanced skill illustration, Qin Yi. Reward searchlight torch X1. Reward magic sound sacred piano, diamond level, X1. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 44. Do you want to learn the primary skill illustration, piano art? Yes. Do you want to study the intermediate skill guide, piano art? Yes. Do you want to learn the advanced skill illustration, piano art? Yes. The next second, a skills panel appeared in front of Lu Shu. Skills, piano art. Level, advanced. Function, can use any kind of piano instrument to play music, and can use some special piano weapons. Lu Shu's eyes were on the magic sound Holy Qin. Magic sound sacred piano. Category, weapon. Grade, diamond level. Usage requirements, advanced Qin art, advanced mage, none. Attributes, magic power add 300, spirit add 50, magic penetration add 100, durability 1000. Skill, magic sound piercing, demonic sound violence. Description, causes range type mental damage to humans. Do you need a mage profession to use it? Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. This means that you need to unlock a new profession. The Lu tree has no such fruit for the time being. However, the God tree game can have more than one profession. Immortal cultivators and shadow assassins can coexist at the same time, then of course one more mage career can be unlocked. If you have a chance in the future, let's look for fruits like this again. After the death of the demonic sound saint. After waiting for a while, no more monsters came out of the grey mist. A ray of dawn suddenly broke through the grey fog and shone on the sacred tree. The surrounding grey fog receded into the distance. Finally, a victory prompt popped up in front of me. You successfully resisted this invasion of the grey world. Defense points, 1,090,000. Comprehensive evaluation, SSS level. SSS exclusive rewards are being unlocked for you. Millions of defense points. Lu Shu took a deep breath. SSS level rating. This should be the highest level rating that Grey Realm Invasion can get. In fact, Lu Shu can only get SSS level rating because the rating of Shenshu game is only so high. When the rankings come out, look at the points of other Sacred Tree Masters, and you will know what the number of 1 million defense points is. Open the SSS level reward. A dazzling array of prizes, suddenly in front of Lu Shu keeps popping up. You have obtained a rare ore, Tianling ore X 50,000. You have obtained rare wood, Rosewood X 100000. You have obtained a special building, Spirit Gathering Tower, Xian level, X1. You have obtained the city defense prop, Spiritual Power Cannon, Xian level, X10. You got a rare seed, Peas Hooter X100. You have obtained a rare seed, High Nut X100. You got a rare seed, Sunflower X100. You got a rare seed, Cabbage Pitcher X100. You got a rare seed, Corn Pitcher X100. The area of your Sacred Tree Island has been expanded by 50 square kilometers. Ranking rewards will be issued when ranking points are announced. When the ranking points are announced, the Grey World will be opened again. Please stay on the island during this time, otherwise you will be responsible for the consequences. Lu Shu suddenly felt dazzled. Are there too many prizes? There are so many that I can't even count them. Tianling ore, this kind of ore can build a special line of defense. Its strength is far beyond that of ordinary ores, and it can even be blocked by spiritual bodies. Lu Shu glanced at the explanation of the Tianling mine, and his eyes lit up. This time, ordinary ore can only block the attack of zombies. However, there is no way to defeat the undead. After having the Tianling mine, in the future, the undead will be kept out. Rosewood is a high-grade wood, but the sturdiness of any kind of wood is too low, so it is naturally not used to upgrade the defense line. Use Rosewood X 30,000 to build a house. Use Rosewood X 3000 to build a rosewood sofa. Use Rosewood X 1000 to build a wooden bed. Use Rosewood X 50 to build a coffee table. Lu Shu used these woods to completely upgrade the cabin. Soon, a 3-story log cabin mansion was built. It feels like an ancient wooden mansion. The furniture inside is also made of rosewood. The furniture made of this high-grade wood has fine texture, luster, and smoothness, and full texture. At first glance, it looks elegant yet noble, showing luxury in a low-key manner. After building a villa, Lu Shu suddenly felt like he was not living on an island, but like he was on vacation. Many rich people would be jealous after seeing this magnificent villa. After the villa is built. Next. Lu Shu set his sights on special buildings. Should we build a gathering tower? Yes. The next second. A magnificent tower building stands on the east side of the island. The tower is a full 30 meters high. An Eastern Taoist formation is imprinted on its interior. As the formation was driven, the nearby spiritual energy gathered towards the island. After the total amount of spiritual power absorbed by the sacred tree every day is increased, plus the effect of 100-fold increase, you can get 100 more growth points every day. What a good thing! Lu Shu couldn't help but sigh. Around the tower, Lu Shu carried 10 spiritual power cannons nearby. The spiritual power cannons can absorb spiritual energy from the spirit gathering tower and bombard the enemy. In addition to the large troops, Lu Shu now also has his own city defense building. Next time he encounters an invasion from the Grey World, the spiritual cannon can blow up the first wave of charging cannon fodder, which greatly reduces Pikachu's troops. Consumption of mental energy. Rare seeds. When Lu Shu laid his eyes on these seeds, his expression suddenly became strange. It's not really those things, is it? He tried to sow a pea seed. Pea seeds x 100. Growth time, 0.6 days, 365/550. These rare seeds can also be blessed with the talent of 100-fold increase and spring revival. Lu Shu's eyes lit up instantly. In this way, wouldn't he be able to have a large army of plants? Piranha is a rare plant. Plants such as pea shooters should be able to cause damage to the enemy. No matter what happens. It seems like a good idea to spit out some peas and potatoes to improve the food. Even Lu Shu was a little curious, what role would sunflowers play on the island? Soon. Lu Shu buried all the seeds in the surrounding soil. Inside. Pea shooter x 10,000, growing. High nut x 10,000, growing. Sunflower x 10,000, growing. Cabbage pitcher x 10,000, growing. Corn pitcher x 10,000, growing. After half a day, Lu Shu will have a new plant army. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 45. The battle is over. Pikachu and Umai were exhausted. They fell down next to the sacred tree one after another, absorbing the nourishment of the sacred tree and replenishing their spiritual power. After this battle, the relationship between Pikachu and Umai has become much closer. A Pikachu wanted to use its A-level movement speed to launch a sneak attack on Yumi. However, Umai directly possessed Pikachu, making it impossible for the other party to play tricks on her. These little guys are quite affectionate. Lu Shu smiled. Cultivating their relationship will help them cooperate more closely in future battles. This is a good thing. That's right, cooking. Lu Shu suddenly remembered that he still had cooking skills that he had not used. He took out the mutated wild boar from the warehouse. Making braised pork. Yes. The next second. The pork in front of Lu Shu was shrouded in white light and turned into a plate of fragrant braised pork. The scent immediately attracted all the nearby pets. Eat it? Lu Shu said with a smile. These little guys have been fighting for themselves for so long, and they have worked hard. Anyway, in the death manor, Lu Shu's warehouse still has a lot of mutated wild boar meat stored. Suddenly, hundreds of Umai and Pikachu all ran over. Lu Shu conjured up all kinds of delicious food like a magic trick, which also surprised these little guys. Taste a piece. Lu Shu ate a piece of braised pork, and his eyes suddenly lit up. This taste. It's truly haute cuisine. You only need the simplest ingredients to make the most delicious dish. Although it's just a plate of home-cooked braised pork. However, whether it's the heat, texture, or chewiness, it's simply impeccable. By the way, I still have some primary aura fruits that I haven't used yet. Lu Shu tried to make a plate of jam pork chops. The fragrance of the spiritual energy fruit blended perfectly with the taste of the pork chops. This unique taste is indescribable. It's like a delicacy that can only be tasted in heaven and on earth. Sit down on the balcony of the villa. Lu Shu slowly tasted the jam pork, and then used the remaining fruit to make a cup of juice. The sunset was infinitely beautiful, and the afterglow of the setting sun stretched the shadow of the villa and mansion, while Lu Shu sat on the sandalwood sitting on the chair, tasting delicious food and drinking drinks. It is so comfortable. In the previous life, only those enviable multimillionaires could enjoy this kind of life. The other sacred tree masters who are still eating grass will probably die. I never thought that the sacred tree island could create such a life. Well, I can even pet a cat. A magic cat quietly came next to Lu Shu. The comfort of this hair is impeccable. I petted it. Next, Lu Shu began to explore other parts of the island. After the invasion of the Grey World ended, the nearby grey fog dispersed a lot towards the distance. The field of vision suddenly became much wider than before. If it is said that at the beginning, the grey mist, the fog is like a barrier oppressing the border. So now, the grey fog is far away, like a towering mountain peak in the distance. Where the grey fog disappears, a large area is freed up for exploration. God, the area of Shu Island has expanded by 50 square kilometers. Lu Shu wants to see what is there in these places. The sacred tree is located in the center of the island and is a relatively tall area. Where the grey fog dissipated, a forest covered with vegetation appeared, but it looked like tropical plants. These places are not suitable for development because they will be invaded by grey fog later. The defense line should be built around the highlands, so that the cost of construction can be reduced, and then we can go to the areas outside the island. Lu Shu surveyed the terrain and chose to build the defense line at its original location. Do you want to spend 50,000 tianling or to build a defense line? Yes. As a huge white light curtain descended, the original defense line was originally a behemoth made of white earth walls. Now, it has turned into a blue spiritual stone. Although the material of the heavenly spirit master looks as transparent as the blue sky, it is much better than ordinary ore in terms of strength and defensive properties. It contains spiritual energy inside and can resist even the undead. There are a lot of improvements. After the defense line was built, Lu Shu's island seemed to be surrounded by giants, majestic and majestic. Then, Lu Shu walked towards the edge of the island. The vegetation here is much richer than the original grassland. But I didn't find much of value. But the expanded scope is really much larger than before. In the future, more rare plant seeds will be obtained, which can be built outside to form a defense line composed of magical plants. In any case, the area has increased, and there is much more maneuverable space behind Lu Shu. Even if the defense line has to be extended to the outside, with the decomposition skills, it can be operated at any time. Finally, the grey fog ahead is getting closer. Unconsciously, Lu Shu had reached the border. Wow! The sound of a wave suddenly reached Lu Shu's ears. Ocean. Lu Shu's ears twitched slightly, feeling surprised. How could there be a sea here? He rushed in the direction of the sound of the waves. When he was less than 100 meters away from the grey fog, a golden beach appeared in front of him. Outside the beach is blue sea water. But Lu Shu can only see a very small part of the sea water. The other end of the sea is blocked by grey fog. We will only know when the next grey world invades and continues to expand the area. There is something on the other side of the sea. Suddenly, Lu Shu suddenly remembered something. Etc. When the game Sacred Tree starts, everyone is on an island. Does it mean that in this world, everyone is an island? The area covered by the grey world is an ocean. Every time the grey world invades, the area of the Sacred Tree Master's island will expand. So, when the island area expands to a certain extent, or even to the other side of the sea, will it be connected to the islands of other sacred tree masters? At this time, Lu Shu thought of a setting in the divine tree game again. The divine tree master who survives to the end will become a god. When the area of the island expands, the sacred tree masters will inevitably be connected to the islands of other sacred tree masters. By then, will the two sacred tree masters live in the same place in harmony? It is obviously impossible. As long as the sacred tree game is going on, you will definitely be connected with other sacred tree masters. At that time, the battle is inevitable. On the other side of the sea, there are enemies. As the sacred tree game continues, each island they will all be connected together, and when the sacred tree game ends, there will only be one sacred tree master who will get all the islands in the world and everyone's sacred trees. Interesting. Lu Shu suddenly grinned. There has never been a so-called survival mode in the divine tree game. There is only one winner who can become the final true god. And his goal is naturally the geniuses on the rankings. If the divine tree games, if the rules are really like this, then one day in the future, Lu Shu's island will be connected to the islands of other sacred tree masters. This time, the ranking list can be used to see who are the real powerful enemies in the future. At this moment, a prompt popped up in front of Lu Shu's eyes. The Grey Realm rankings have been announced. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 46. The ranking list for this Grey World invasion has appeared. All sacred tree masters are requested to read the following rules. 1. This ranking will be based on the defense points and comprehensive evaluation of each sacred tree master. 2. Only the top 100 sacred tree masters will be announced in the rankings, and different rewards will be given according to the ranking ladder. First place, God level reward. Second place, a diamond level weapon and platinum suit. Third place, platinum suit. Fourth to 10th place, platinum weapons. 11th to 30th, golden weapon. No 31 to 50, searchlight torch X1 plus searchlight candle X5. No 51 to 100, searchlight candle X10. Lu Shu glanced at the reward list and frowned slightly. Apart from first place, are there any other rewards? I already own one of the diamond level weapons. After putting together the 8-piece set of the Revenant set, the help it provides in places like Castlevania is even more powerful than the ordinary platinum set. However, Shu estimates that his score should be surpassed by any sacred tree master. You only need to wait for the rankings to be announced to know what the god level reward for first place is. World Public Screen. When the ranking rules came out, it immediately aroused heated discussion among everyone. This reward is too great, a diamond level weapon. My highest level weapon now is only silver level. Not only that, there is also a platinum set. I remember that the set has additional bonus effects, right? Combined with diamond level weapons, it feels like you are invincible. It's a pity that only the second place can get this reward, and the difference in rewards behind is too big. The good rewards are concentrated in the top 10, and the rewards below are all average. After reaching the 50th place, there are basically no good things. Yes, I can get things like the searchlight fire candle just by walking around in the dungeon. This thing is used to give out rewards. Forget it, mosquito meat is still meat no matter how small it is. Therefore, only those ranked high enough can get the best rewards. Those ranked below 50 will receive nothing but scrap metal. Who knows what the reward for first place is? Not sure, it only says God level rewards. It looks so mysterious. Based on the urine quality of this ranking, I feel that the gift given to the first place may not be of the same level as the previous one. The second place was given a diamond-level weapon and a platinum suit. What do you think the first place can get? It's not an artifact that's directly given away, right? It's so frustrating. I also want to be ranked first, but unfortunately I only have 50,000 defense points, so there should be no hope. You are to Versailles upstairs. I only have 500 points for this grey world invasion. How did you get 50,000 points? I have killed 1,000 zombies, so I only have 1,000 points. How did I get the 50,000 points upstairs? Awesome. Book one of the big guys. When a 50,000 point sacred tree master appeared in the chat box, it was like frying fish. Everyone was shocked. Take advantage of the time while waiting for the rankings to be announced. Lushu also opened the world public screen. Thousands of messages are refreshed every minute. According to the content that pops up above, Lushu found that most of the sacred tree masters have less than 1,000 points. Some are more talented and have the courage to explore the sacred trees outside the grey world. For teachers, the general points are around a few thousand points. As long as a divine tree master with tens of thousands of points appears, it will be enough to gain the worship of everyone. Oh, I envy you guys who can get hundreds of thousands of points. This time when the grey world invaded, I committed suicide and got 100,000 points. If I had known better, I wouldn't have gone to explore so many places. It made my hands cramp from the killing. Worn out. At this time, in the public chat screen, a player named Lufeng broke out with a score of 100,000 points, once again attracting everyone's attention. Oh my god. The smell of Versailles upstairs was so strong that I couldn't resist it anymore. Listen, is this what people say? I failed to speak because my rank was too low. 100,000, real or fake? I'm afraid it's going to be on the list, right? So far, are there any bosses with more than 100,000 points? However, when Lufeng appeared, some big guys seemed to be attracted too. Tisk tisk, when did Lufeng become so lazy? Aren't you one of the top 10 masters of Muyu Pavilion? It's only 100,000 points. It's a pity that Grandpa, I already have 150,000 points. The person who said this sentence has an ID named Rax Hasa. Lufeng, wow, 150,000 points, so awesome. Rakshasa : as long as I'm better than you. Lufeng, huh? A score of 150,000 is better than a score of 160,000. Didn't you go to elementary school? Rakshasa : are you 160,000 points? Why are you bragging? Lufeng, I'll just see you on the list then. I'll see how many of you can get into the Dark Knight Alliance. Rakshasa : haha, I'm sorry, the first one on the list has been reserved by our alliance leader, and your points are not even half of others. Lufeng, it seems that other people's points are your points, but they are not yours, so what are you talking about? Besides, the first one on the list is your alliance leader? I'll give you an idiom: idiots talk about dreams. The chat screen suddenly became public. Much quieter. The two top guys started to quarrel, and Mensin underneath was trembling and didn't dare to say a word. Lushu also analyzed it from the conversation between the two. This Rax Hasa should be from the Dark Knight Alliance. Muyu Pavilion, could it be an organization founded by Muyu Tingfeng? Lufeng's score in Shensha game is already very high, but in Muyu Pavilion, he is only ranked among the top 10. Moreover, being able to compete with the Dark Knight Alliance shows that Muyu Pavilion is not that simple. At this time, a chat window popped up in front of Lushu. Muyu Tingfeng, it's been almost 7 days since the last transaction. I'm here to collect the primary spiritual energy fruit. When the message was sent successfully, Muyu Tingfeng was sure that Lushu had not died. In fact, coming here to ask for fruit this time was secondary, the main thing was to confirm whether Lushu was still alive. Lushu didn't say anything and directly handed over the primary spiritual energy fruit. Mu Yu Tingfeng asked, how was the invasion of the Grey World this time? Lu Shuren said, it's not bad. Lu Shu was a little surprised. Mu Yu Tingfeng actually asked herself this. However, after the rankings are announced, she will know her points. It will be over when the time comes. This guy is still pretending to be mysterious. Mu Yu Tingfeng thought. However, according to her judgment, Lu Shu should have returned to the island soon after obtaining the second first kill achievement, otherwise he would not have traded high-level spiritual energy fruits with her so quickly. Therefore, the scope of exploration is not as large as imagined, so the number of monsters is not very large, right? In this case, the total score won't be that high, only tens of thousands of points at most, right? Mu Yu Tingfeng is too lazy. What are you asking for? After hanging up the communication, a chat window suddenly popped up in front of Mu Yu Tingfeng. Lu Feng's sister Mu, how was your defensive performance this time? Mu Yu Tingfeng sat cross-legged on the spot with a smile on her lips. 370,000 points, this time, I want to get the first place in the rankings, there should be no problem. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 47. Lu Feng's sister Mu is too fierce, her defense points are almost 3 times as high as mine. The first place in this ranking is definitely yours. Mu Yu Tingfeng smiled lightly. In other words, she has long been planning how to obtain this point. Lu Feng's sister Mu, if I were to be on the ranking list, where would I probably be? Mu Yu Tingfeng said I would probably be in the top 30, but I might be hovering around 30. Alright. Lu Feng seemed a little frustrated. After all, his expectation was to be ranked in the top 10. However, this goal is still too big for his current level. Lu Feng's sister Mu, what do you think? At this time, who are the top players on the ranking list? Mu Yu Tingfeng said if nothing unexpected happens, Anya should be able to rank in the top 5. Lu Feng top 5, that's normal. After all, he has 3 S-level talents, which is already terrifying. Mu Yu Tingfeng, the Sacred Tree Masters of the Dark Knight Alliance are all very strong. Although that Rakshas's points are not as good as yours, it is still very dangerous to fight him if you meet him in the Grey World. The ranking of the Divine Tree Master doesn't mean anything, talent is the most important. Lu Feng's sister Mu, do you think there are SSS-level talents in Shenxia game, and yet is already so strong, but he only has 3 S-level talents? Mu Yu Tingfeng, there seem to be only 2 SS-level talents in the entire Sacred Tree game. Lu Feng didn't say much. He had heard Mu Yu Tingfeng say before that there are 2 SS-level talents in Shenxia game. One of the owners of SS-level talents is Mu Yu Tingfeng. The other one is Sanren. However, except for awakening an SS-level talent, the other 2 talents of that Sanren are very mediocre, not even A-level. Even if one talent is very good, other talents must be able to cooperate to achieve the best performance. The role of the talent. Sometimes, the level of talent cannot explain the problem. If the 3 talents drawn by Oyu Huang work well together, their effectiveness is even as good as the S-level talent. Mu Yu Tingfeng said perhaps, this god in tree games, SSS-level talents don't exist in the first place. Lu Feng, have you used the power of the sacred tree to see it, Mu Yu Tingfeng said I tried it, but it didn't work. When Lu Feng heard this answer, he sighed. It seems that the SSS-level talent does not exist anymore. It is precisely because it does not exist that it cannot be sensed, right? Mu Yu Tingfeng, anyway, wait for the ranking list after coming out, we can know who the masters are. The Sacred Tree game has 1 billion players. Although Mu Yu Tingfeng always communicates with the top Sacred Tree masters, she cannot guarantee whether there will be any hidden masters behind it. At this moment, a system announcement popped up in front of my eyes. The Grey Realm rankings are now announced. World public screen. Come on, let's begin. Pick up the small bench and sit down. How many points do you think the 100th place will get? Let's make a blind guess of 30,000. I looked around in the chat channel and I don't seem to find many bosses whose points can exceed 30,000. 30,000 is already awesome, right? That means killing 30,000 zombies. What kind of awesome talent does one need to awaken to kill so many enemies? Let's not talk about whether we can kill them or not. I don't even know if there are 30,000 zombies. While everyone was discussing, the system suddenly announced the name of the 100th person. The list of Sacred Tree Masters who entered the rankings for this Grey World invasion is as follows. 100th place, Sun Yang, defense points, 78,777, comprehensive evaluation, a level. 99th place, Luo Sheng, defense points, 79,266, comprehensive evaluation, a level. When the data for the 100th place was announced, most of the people present were dumbfounded. Damn it, the 100th place actually costs almost 80,000 points. Sorry to bother you, I don't think I deserve to touch this list in my life. Looking at my 3-digit points, I suddenly felt that I was not worthy to speak at this time. With all due respect, those who can make it to this ranking list, even if they are ranked 100 with mediocre rewards, are the ones I need to kneel down and lick. It's too scary. Just to get on this list, you need to kill almost 80,000 zombies. What kind of gods can you get on there? The 100th place is already so high, so how scary must the monsters on it be? You won't forget that there are a billion people participating in this game, right? What is the concept of being able to kill 100 people out of a billion people? This is much lower than your probability of getting into King Bay. Is this the world of the strong? The Versailles man who had 50,000 points just now has completely disappeared. Although Magama said that he would not be able to win the first place, in fact, being able to get 50,000 points was considered a very high score in the God Tree game. Even if you can't get first place, you should settle for the next best thing and get top 10, right? However, reality was like a bucket of cold water poured on him. Brother Versailles never thought in his life that he could not even reach the 100th place, and the gap was nearly 30,000 points. What kind of terrifying monsters must those people who were photographed at the front and have not yet spoken on the rankings be? At this time, not many people still remember the old man from Versailles just now. If even 100 people can't get in, who will remember the name of such a person? In this kind of ranking list, few people will remember the second place, let alone 100. Everyone will only remember the first place. No 52, I am really not long Aotian, defense points, 128,777, overall evaluation, S-level. No 51, Luo Sheng, defense points, 139,266, comprehensive evaluation, S-level. When the ranking reached 50, the defense points had soared to almost 150,000 points. However, at this ranking, the gap between the Sacred Tree Masters is much smaller. Most of them float around 100. 31, Rax Hassa, defense points, 159,777, overall evaluation, SS level. The 30th place, Lu Feng, defense points, 161,777, overall evaluation, SS level. When this ranking is ranked, Lu Feng Rax Hassa, have you ever been punished by me? Lu Feng Rax Hassa, why are you 31? Is the search torch useful? Lu Feng, why didn't you speak? Weren't you very arrogant just now? Why are you silent now? Rakshasa : it doesn't matter if he is one higher than me. The number 1 spot in the rankings this time must belong to our leader. Lu Fang, I think you are just dreaming. Rakshasa: how about it, do you dare to make a bet? Lu Feng: oh? What are you betting on? Rakshasa: I will produce a platinum level weapon, do you dare to bet on it? Lu Feng: okay, just bet, who is afraid of whom? 30 is just one spot away from 31. However, this gap in quotas makes the content of the rewards completely different. Rakshasa was also completely furious. He actually took out a platinum level weapon as a bet. You must know that at this stage, platinum level weapons are quite valuable, even for top divine tree masters, they are equivalent to half of their net worth. When other sacred tree masters saw this scene, they couldn't help but wonder what kind of organization the Dark Knight Alliance was. Rakshasa actually dared to bet that their boss would get the first place in the rankings. Moreover, Rakshasa's ranking is not low, but he is not the strongest being in that organization. How strong should the alliance leader be? As time goes by, unknowingly, the rankings are getting closer and closer to the top. 10th place, Mu Taoran, defense points, 211,777, overall evaluation, SS level. 9th place, Master Jin Chan, defense points, 231,897, overall evaluation, SS level. Unconsciously, the ranking has reached the top 10. At this time, the number of messages generated every second is astonishing. Almost all the sacred tree masters are discussing the ranking information. How come there is suddenly a difference of 20,000 defense points between the 10th place and the 9th place? It seems that the gap has become even wider. In fact, this is normal. In the middle stage, everyone's strength is not much different, but when it comes to the head stage, the gap between them is often reflected. That's right. In this world, there is no strongest, only stronger. Look, the 8th place has come out. Wow! It has actually reached 250,000 points. Wait, please pay attention, 250,000 points is still an SS level evaluation. So how many points are needed for an SSS level evaluation? I don't know, maybe no one can get an SSS rating for this game, right? I feel the same way. The requirements are simply too high. The SS level is only rated after 150,000. The SSS level score is so high that no one can get it, right? Mu Yu Tingfeng's eyes moved slightly. Are Taoist Mu and Master Jinchen only ranked 9th or 10th? I originally thought their ranking would be higher. It seems that in this ranking, there are some dark horses that I don't know about. Certainly. When the scores are announced here, Mu Yu Tingfeng was in a relatively relaxed mood. Her score is as high as 370,000, and the 8th place score of 250,000 is still 100,000 points behind her. 6th place, Netherworld, defense points, 262,337, overall evaluation, SS level. 5th place, Zhongshui, defense points, 268,337, comprehensive evaluation, SS level. 4th place, Retreat, defense points, 301,997, overall evaluation, SS level. When we reached 5th place, the defense points had exceeded 300,000. Worship the top 5 guys. The 4th place in Gian is simply outrageous. In one fell swoop, the defense points reached 300,000. This is a fraction that I will never be able to reach the decimal point in my life. Mom asked me why I was kneeling and looking at the chat box in front of me. 300,000 UN and no SSS level evaluation, the requirements for this game are too high, right? I think so. Why are the requirements so high? A bit incomprehensible. At this time, Mu Yu Tingfeng couldn't help but feel tense. Gian is actually only 4th. He should have an SS level talent. The one in front is probably the Dark Knight. But, who could the other one be? When the points reached 300,000, Mu Tingfeng began to feel nervous. There are still 3 lists left that have not been announced. Come on, finally we are in the top 3. Sit down in the front row, melon seeds are on sale. Look up to the big guys on the leaderboard. Alas, I don't dare to look at these names anymore, I feel like I will be severely hit. Just get used to it, the top 3 out of a billion people, I just wonder how outrageous their scores will be. Next. The 3rd place in this ranking list is announced. 3rd place, Dark Knight, defense points, 322,337, overall evaluation, SS level. This moment, Rakshas's expression was completely unbearable. Lu Fang at, ha ha ha, hurry up, the platinum level weapons are handed over. Lu Feng at, hey. Don't be so shameless. Did you agree to start gambling? Lu Fang at, tisk tisk tisk, start pretending to be dead when you lose, don't play if you can't afford it. Others saw Rakshas's reaction and couldn't help but cast a look of contempt and disdain. I thought the Dark Knight Alliance was so awesome, but they couldn't even afford to bet on it. That's right, their alliance leader is only the 3rd, not the 1st, so why are he pretending? Anyway, I despise this organization, what a bastard. When Mu Tingfeng saw Yes scores coming out, he suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. He is in 3rd place, with only 320,000 points. 50,000 points behind me. In this case, the 1st place should be mine. I don't know where the 2nd place came from, the Dark Horse, but he was able to run to the top of the Dark Knight. Just when Mu Tingfeng was thinking about this issue, suddenly, the 2nd place list was also announced. 2nd place, Mu Tingfeng, defense points, 379,997, overall evaluation, SS level. What? When the list was announced, Mu Tingfeng was stunned on the spot. I was actually, 2nd place. Not only Mu Tingfeng. Lu Feng was also completely stunned. Sister Mu already has 370,000 points. She was only 2nd. So who is number 1? Everyone in the chat box was also completely shocked when they saw Mu Tingfeng's points. Wow! The 2nd placed guy was so awesome, he even beat that Dark Knight by 50,000 points. Too strong. So scary. It's a pity that I didn't expect that the 2nd placed boss could not break through the SS level evaluation. It feels like no one can reach the highest rating of SSS this time. 370,000 points, I feel it's already incredible, and it should be more than 300,000 points later, right? It's hard to say, but it's possible to score 400,000 points, but it's overwhelming at this point. I guess if I want to get an SSS rating this time, I'm afraid it will take 500,000 points. What kind of monster is this that can achieve such a rating? The game's sacred tree is too difficult. Among a billion people, it can't even get an SSS rating. While everyone was talking about it, finally, the 1st place list has been announced. 1st place, Lu Shuren, defense points, 1,090,000, overall evaluation, SSS level. How can this be? When Mu Tingfeng saw that name, his eyes widened instantly, his face full of disbelief. Reading books on May Day is a joy. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 48. When Lu Shu's points were displayed in front of everyone, the chat messages on World Public Screen instantly exploded. 1 million. Oh my god, can anyone tell me if I missed a decimal point? ISNT, this guy at the top of the list, the tree raider who got 2 first kills last time. Yes, I also remembered it after saying that. Who said that the first kill of the guy on the list was obtained by relying on a yellow-skinned mouse? Damn it. At that time, I really believed such nonsense. The paratrooper was actually me. That's awesome, millions of defense points. How on earth did this guy who is number 1 on the list achieve it? If I could just get a hair from the boss's leg, I should be able to take off. You think too much. You can't control even a hair on the boss's leg. Be careful of being tied up by the boss leg hair. Play. Who said Shenshu games don't have an SSS level rating? I'll give it to you with my bare hands. I am so stupid. What kind of god is the tree-lugging boss? He got 2 first kills and got another million points. This is almost 3 times more than the second one on the list. The strongest person on the list is so terrifying. In fact, this is not impossible. For those who can reach the top of the list, their upper limit is just to break through themselves over and over again. The gap between others and him is too big. But this is too exaggerated. The 300,000 points for the second place on the list, I originally thought was very high, but in the end I could only get someone's knees. If the names in these rankings are the stars that other sacred tree masters look up to but are out of reach, then the name of the tree lumping man has now become a big mountain weighing down the many names on the ranking list. It's still an insurmountable peak. Millions of points. When the second place results were announced, no one could have imagined that the first place results would be so exaggerated. At this time, Mu Tingfeng was almost petrified on the spot. She looked at the chat messages, line after line, flashing before her eyes, and suddenly felt an unprecedented frustration in her heart. Number 1 on the list is number 1, why are you always comparing me to it? Mu Tingfeng was so depressed that she almost vomited blood. Whenever people in the chat box mentioned Lu Shu, they always compared herself with her. She felt that the meaning of her existence was like a background board, specially designed to set off it exists because of the awesomeness of others. However, looking at the points of the Shuren, Mu Tingfeng almost couldn't help but slap herself, wondering if she was having a nightmare. No wonder the rating conditions this time have become so high. Under normal circumstances, 100,000 points should have been rated SS level. If it reaches about 300,000 points, it can definitely be judged as an SSS level evaluation. However, that guy got 1 million points, which completely raised the overall upper limit. Therefore, other sacred tree masters can only get SS level evaluations, and he alone has the only SSS level evaluation. Thinking of this, Mu Tingfeng couldn't help but clicked his tongue, feeling the huge gap. With one person's power, he raised the evaluation standards of the rankings, nearly 3 times the total score, crushing himself. This is not just overwhelming. It's so simple, but crushing, completely crushing. I must see who you are. A burst of incandescent light suddenly burst out from Mu Tingfeng's pupils. The endless secrets seemed to be reflected in her pupils. In her field of vision, a hazy island suddenly appeared in front of Mu Tingfeng's eyes. That was exactly the sacred tree in the center was shrouded in mist, faintly emitting a hazy golden light, and looked extremely sacred. At this moment, Mu Tingfeng's mind suddenly shook violently. The island in front of him instantly collapsed. The next second, cough cough cough. Her body trembled, as if she had suffered a violent backlash, and she couldn't help but cough up a trace of blood. The secret must not be revealed. Mu Tingfeng's face was pale, and she looked extremely painful due to the backlash, with an unparalleled look of horror in her eyes. It's not like she hadn't tried this feeling before. It was when she was predicting SSS level talent. Mu Tingfeng she also encountered a similar backlash. She had never told anyone about this matter. However, unexpectedly, when she was calculating the sacred tree island of the tree lumbling man today, this feeling actually appeared again. Could it be that, this guy is from the God Tree game? The only SSS-level talent owner. Mu Tingfeng took a deep breath, and finally calmed down from the shock. She suddenly remembered that at the beginning, she thought that the tree raider only had C-level talent. She suddenly remembered that she still felt that the other party his talent may not meet the conditions to join Mu Pavilion. Now that I think about it, the previous idea is not too ridiculous. How could such a strong person join an organization founded by others? Regardless of whether the tree-pulling man has awakened his SSS-level talent or not. We at Mu Pavilion must not be enemies with such people. Try your best to establish a good relationship with him first. Even if it comes to the worst possible situation, you can never become an opponent with such a terrifying existence. Mu Tingfeng took a deep breath again. She soon realized how she should contact the top supreme powerhouse like Lush Yuran. An island of darkness. Heavily clouded. Even if the fog dissipates, there won't be any sunshine here. The sacred tree in the center seems to blend into the dark night. The man sitting under the sacred tree is hidden in the night, his figure is elusive. Tree man. The man opened his eyes, and relevant information emerged in his mind. He had an impression of this name. A few days ago, several men of the Dark Knight Alliance told him that the tree man killed Johnny. Of course. Dark Knight was too lazy to pay attention to this. It's a small thing, just a few trash fish, and it's just as good as death. What's more, this is Johnny's own stupidity, and he offended people he shouldn't offend. I thought this name would be forgotten soon, but unexpectedly it appeared at the top of the list. Now, even if I want to forget it, I can't forget it. The corners of Agnes' mouth raised slightly. Millions of points. This person's Divine Tree ability should be very suitable for defense in the Divine Tree Island. I originally thought that defensive talents were all useless talents. They could not take the initiative in the Grey World and were destined to be passive. Unexpectedly, there is such a rule in the Grey World. If your defensive talent is strong enough, you can return to the island after exploring the dungeon and attract monsters to the Sacred Tree Island to kill them. This is equivalent to reducing the difficulty of conquering the dungeon. Tisk tisk tisk. Raising trees. I'm very interested in your talent. Agnes' eyes showed excitement. He was not afraid of Lushu's power. On the contrary. Agnes would only be interested in such a divine tree master if the target's divine tree talent was enough to defy the heavens. Otherwise, what is the use of killing some trash and getting those low-level talents and ordinary sacred trees? Everyone, listen. Start paying close attention to the information about Lushuran from today. Regardless of all the information, as long as it is collected, you can receive rewards from the organization. Change Mu Tingfeng, who is number 1 on the bounty list, into a tree-raising man. As soon as the order was issued, all the sacred tree masters of the Dark Knight Alliance began to pay attention to Lushu's intelligence. Strong men such as Netherworld and Rakshasa also imprinted the name of the tree master deeply in their minds. Today is over. List 1's million points are destined to be unforgettable to many people. And many sacred tree masters who have obtained higher points have actually noticed the relationship between the grey mist and the island. They have also gradually understood that there is an enemy on the other side of the sea. At this time, the true rules of the Divine Tree game have finally emerged. Rewards for the Grey World Invasion rankings have been distributed. In the ranking of this Grey World Invasion, you ranked first. Prizes are being distributed. Have the rewards finally been distributed? Lushu came back to his senses from practicing. To be honest, he was also looking forward to it. What exactly is the God level reward for the first place? The other rankings are all known rewards. But the God level reward for the first place reward, but didn't say anything. It was quite mysterious. The next second, several prompts popped up in front of Lushu's eyes. You have obtained the God level formation, TNG formation. You get a mythical creature, the golden dragon koi. You have obtained the mythical site, Tianmen. These rewards. Lu Shu's eyes lit up instantly. Will the Tianji formation cover the entire sacred tree island? Yes. The next second. With the divine tree as the eye of the heavenly secret formation, the entire island is covered in the mysterious heavenly secret formation. Vaguely, a huge Tai Chi yin and yang diagram seemed to appear on the entire island. Then, the sky, the earth, and the surrounding aura of the island seemed to be connected together, forming a harmonious whole of yin-yang and 5 elements. Lu Shu suddenly discovered that after the Tianji array was deployed, he was on the island and could capture the aura of heaven and earth more clearly. At the same time, the attributes of Pikachu and Uami have also been enhanced. The heavenly secret formation contains the mystery of the numbers of heaven. Being in a formation can enhance one's own combat effectiveness, while also weakening the enemy's combat effectiveness. Especially for the undead, it has a considerable suppressive effect. Moreover, the Tianji formation can also shield everything on the island, making it difficult for the sacred tree masters outside to attack. If it is connected to other islands in the future, the Tianji formation can even completely hide the entire island. In addition, the heavenly secret formation can even shield the heavenly secrets. If a divine tree master with prediction abilities wants to rashly spy on my divine tree island, he or she will be counterattacked by the heavenly secret formation. To put it simply, the Tianji formation has improved the defense of Lu Shu's sacred tree island by more than one level. In the future, whether it is to resist the invasion of the Grey World, or to connect with the islands of other sacred tree masters, to carry out island war, the confrontation between them can play a vital role. Golden Dragon Koi. Lu Shu set his sights on the second reward. A thought came to my mind. The Golden Dragon Koi immediately appeared in the river of holy water. Golden Dragon Koi. Category, mythical creature. Level, first level. Blessing aura, lucky add 10. Evolution points, 10. Required evolution points to upgrade to second level, 250. It turns out to be a pet that increases luck attributes. Lu Shu's eyes suddenly lit up. After experiencing a copy of the Grey World, Lu Shu deeply realized how important luck is. Whether it is fighting monsters and exploding equipment, or exploring in the grey fog, many things are it is unknown. In this case, the attribute of luck is simply not too important. If the luck value is high, you can explode high-level equipment by just brushing a few monsters, and you can turn disaster into good luck. Furthermore, Lu Shu has never found a way to improve this attribute. It turns out that, only by ranking first in the rankings and receiving God-level rewards can you get a way to increase your luck. And with this opportunity, the entire Divine Tree Island, Lu Shu is one of the very few who has it. Or some special professions that use luck as a plus point also have the ability to increase luck. However, the offensive power of those professions is generally very weak, and they cannot be compared with Lu Shu at all. I don't know how to increase the evolution points of Golden Dragon Koi. Lu Shu thought for a while. He found a heavenly spirit fruit from the warehouse and fed one to the Golden Dragon Koi. Your Golden Dragon Koi swallowed a heavenly spirit fruit and gained add 5 evolution points. Only 5 points added. Lu Shu clicked his tongue. Isn't the Golden Dragon Koi too difficult to raise? However, thinking that this creature is a mythical creature, Lu Shu felt a little relieved. He fed all the remaining 48 Tianling fruits to the Golden Dragon Koi was born. At this moment, the evolution point of the Golden Dragon Koi reached 255. Your Golden Dragon Koi has reached the evolution point required to upgrade to the second level. Do you want to choose to evolve? Yes. The next second. The attributes of the Golden Dragon Koi have also changed. Golden Dragon Koi. Category, mythical creature. Level, second level. Blessing aura, lucky add 20. Evolution points, 5. Required evolution points to upgrade to level 3, 1050. Let's talk about this later. Lu Shu couldn't help but smile bitterly. Even if he waits until the production cycle of the 100 Tianling fruits is reached later, feeding them all will only reach half of the upgrade progress. It is better to wait until there are more advanced fruits later, and then feed them right. Lu Shu had a vague feeling that if the golden dragon koi was upgraded to level 9 or above, unexpected changes might occur. Could it be that it could really evolve into a golden dragon? The last reward. Lu Shu thought. A majestic, resplendent, and hundreds-foot-high mythical building stands proudly on the sacred tree island. The reflected golden light illuminates everything. It's like arriving in the mythical heaven. The heavenly gate of golden light stands in the east of the island, like a giant spanning the sky and the earth. It looks like it makes people feel awe and worship. Legend has it that after crossing the heavenly gate, the level of living beings will be completely evolved. There is also a saying that a fish leaps over the dragon's gate. The moment the heavenly gate stood on the sacred tree island, Lu Shu suddenly felt that the nearby heavenly spiritual energy was pouring out, much stronger than before. Besides, Lu Shu also found that he had unlocked the mythical ruins panel. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 49. Mythical Ruins. Ruins, Tianmen. Attribute increase, attack power add 50, defense add 20, spirit add 10, critical hit add 10%, puncture add 20, blessing add 20. Description: this is a incomplete Tianmen. If it is pieced together completely, there are unexpected changes. It turns out to be a field-increasing building. Lu Shu suddenly understood. The Tianji array connects Tianmen and the island. Therefore, Tianmen has obtained a certain attribute increase for all creatures in the territory of the Divine Tree Island. Not only Pikachu and Uami. If in the future, when those magical plants are planted, they will also be able to obtain the domain blessings of Tianmen. If the number of mythical sites increases, the effect of the increase will definitely be terrifying. By then, Lu Shu will have created an island that no one can invade. Ding. Your peas hooter x 10,000 has finished growing. Ding. Your sunflower x 10,000 has grown. Lu Shu's eyes lit up slightly. At this time, the seeds planted not long ago have all grown. At a glance, dense pea shooters, sunflowers, etc., grow in an orderly manner around the island. The sunflowers are planted in the innermost, coming over are the corn pitchers and cabbage pitchers, and the pea shooters are right behind the tall nuts. These magical plants, with the blessing of Tianmen and Tianji array, can condense spiritual energy to attack. Although their attack power is very low, the pea shooter is equivalent to the first level of Qi training, while the corn pitcher and cabbage pitcher are equivalent to the second level of Qi training. However, these plants are able to absorb spiritual energy and grow. Not only the Juling Tower and Tianji array, the sunlight produced by the sunflower every day can also allow these plants to evolve. Although the combat effectiveness of a single plant is not high, so many plants combined are already very powerful. In this way, I am not just a lonely army like the Piranha Legion. Lu Shu came to the location of the plantation. The area where the island expanded was used by Lu Shu as a planting site for magical plants. It was basically the same as the defense line, and it also formed a circle. Come to the corn pitcher, cabbage pitcher, and near pea pitcher. Correct. Can you let these guys vomit some plants and use them as food? There is only one ingredient, mutated pork. Isn't it too monotonous? Eating meat all day long will not be good for your appearance if you gain weight in the future. Lu Shu thought. The cabbage pitcher, corn pitcher, and pea shooter immediately spit out the ingredients with a puff puff. You can really get food. At the same time, many recipes popped up in front of Lu Shu's eyes: braised pork trotters with peas and corn, sautéed pork with cabbage, corn and pork soup. I made delicious food, maybe I can get it from the trading interface to exchange for some fertilizer. Suddenly, Lu Shu remembered that he might be the only person in the Divine Tree game who could make delicious food. He had thought about exchanging the fruit with others, but this would increase the strength of others. After knowing the rules of the Sacred Tree game, Lu Shu will not throw the superpower fruits to the auction for loss-making business. All these good fruits are fed to his own pets and koi. The extra props obtained in the copy, and it would be much more reasonable to exchange some consumables. Lu Shu tried to make 100 copies of braised pig trotters with corn and pea. Open the transaction interface. Select to put on the shelf. Item: braised pork trotters with corn and peas. Category: gourmet. Quantity: 100. Trading conditions: 1 pack of primary fertilizer. At the current market price, 10 packs of primary fertilizer can be exchanged for 1 pack of intermediate fertilizer, and 10 packs of intermediate fertilizer can be exchanged for 1 pack of high-level fertilizer. Of course, this is just the market price. High-end fertilizers are basically priceless. During the invasion of the Grey Realm, the price of primary fertilizers has risen to ridiculous levels. Some people even started to speculate on the market price of fertilizers. Recently, prices have skyrocketed, which is shocking. Many Sacred Tree masters who want to buy primary fertilizer to quickly become stronger cannot afford it. There isn't much left of Lu Shu's high-grade fertilizer now. He didn't want to throw the superpower fruit in exchange. As for the primary soul and other materials and items, not to mention that Lu Shu was still useful, and others might not be willing to exchange the primary fertilizer for it. Therefore, it seems that it is still delicious, and it is more likely to attract some rich people. World Public Screen. At all members, brothers, please open the trading panel and take a look. I found a magical item. Someone discovered the delicacies on Lu Shu's shelves and immediately announced all the information. There is such a real recipe name. Is it true? Do you need a pack of primary fertilizer to replace it? Crazy. I don't know how precious today's primary fertilizers are. If you can take out a bag of primary fertilizer just to exchange for food, you are a fool. Wait, let's take a look at the name of this kind of seller first. Isn't it the tree-laying guy who topped the list? Everyone took a look. Only then did I discover that the Sacred Tree Master who put this product on the shelves was none other than the Tree Raider. That mythical figure from the Grey World who has achieved an SSS-level rating and 1,000,000 defense points. Should I drop one? He is really that big guy. Boss, I exchanged it with you for a pack of primary fertilizer. Please pay more attention to it in the future. Damn it, how fast are you guys? 100 delicacies were snatched up by you just like that. Who just said that people who exchange primary fertilizer for this are fools? Are you afraid that you will become a fool now? I am afraid that person will no longer dare to appear on the forum, mocking the big guys. Do you still want to hang out? After the first invasion of the Grey World. Now, the surviving Sacred Tree Masters are all old fools. The quality of the chat box has also improved a lot, and the average IQ feels like it has instantly increased. After learning that the person who put this product on the shelves was the tree lumping man, some big guys chose to buy the food without hesitation. How can this be delicious food? Isn't being familiar with a big guy on the list much more valuable than a pack of primary fertilizer? Ah, I ate the delicious food cooked by the top guy. I was so moved. This is a taste I had only enjoyed at home before I traveled to the Sacred Tree Island. The one above is real and fake. I redeemed it for the braised pig's trotters from the top restaurant. I haven't used it yet. Is it that delicious? It is recommended to eat it while it is hot. The taste makes me feel like I am back home. I originally thought that it would be a loss if I exchanged it for primary fertilizer for the delicacies of the big names on the list, but now it seems that even if I exchange it for intermediate fertilizer, I am willing to do so. You guys with fast hands have gone too far. You snatched these delicacies and boasted like this. I'm envious. I also want the opportunity to boast of being a big boss. Who said we blew it? You won't think so if you try the taste of this delicacy yourself. After eating fruits for so many days, I almost forgot what real food tastes like. Are you people so exaggerated? It's really not an exaggeration. If you don't believe it, try it yourself. At this time, Lu Shu put another 100 servings of braised pork on the shelves. In just 1 second, all the food was gone. Damn it! What's your hand speed? 1 second, it's too much, leave some for us. You have successfully grabbed the delicacies from the top of the list, take a bite now. Wow, this tastes like food that can only be made by angels. I also tasted it. Those big guys in front are really not for food. They definitely said this sincerely. They are too short of words to describe the taste of these delicacies, so saying it is like flattering. In fact, I can't describe how delicious this delicacy is. Anyway, I couldn't help but shed tears. Each one is really more outrageous than the other. However, after all this hype, everyone began to wonder what the food produced by Lu Shu tasted like. Many people are waiting at the transaction interface. As soon as Lu Shu puts new delicacies on the shelves, they immediately grab them and eat them without thinking. But after waiting for a long time, Lu Shu did not put any new food on the shelves. Many divine tree masters who had great expectations could only turn off the interface in disappointment. But the discussion about Lu Shu's food has not diminished. Not only because the person who put it on the shelf was Lu Shu, but also because some big guys were crazy about the taste of the food, which aroused the curiosity of many people. The harvest is almost done. Lu Shu looked at the 200 extra bags of primary fertilizer in the warehouse and showed a smile. He could put all the beautiful things together so quickly. Sold out, exceeded expectations. Of course he won't put too much food on the shelves. The reason why these sacred tree masters find the food so delicious is not because the taste of the food is too amazing, but because they have been eating grass for a long time, or they only have unpalatable fruits, so they have a huge demand for real food. After this sense is stimulated, it will be infinitely amplified. It's like a long drought followed by sweet rain. However, once you eat too much, you won't feel anything at all. If too many are sold at once, it will only accelerate the saturation of this market. After Lu Shu saw the value of the food he made, he directly chose to sell it in limited quantities. In this way, if you don't need primary fertilizer in the future, but need to choose other rare materials, you can still exchange it with delicious food. Others can only exchange fruits for fruits, and use good products from the gray world to exchange for good products from the gray world. But Lu Shu exchanges for rare materials by making delicacies, and he basically consumes them at no cost, just like a white wolf with nothing. Same, you don't earn much at all. Just when Lu Shu was about to publish the information about redeeming high-grade fertilizer, suddenly a prompt pops up in front of you. The sacred tree master Mu Tingfen requests to trade with you. Choose to accept. Chat box. Mu Tingfeng said straight to the point, I have a batch of high-grade fertilizers in my hands. The market price is about 100 packages of primary fertilizer. If you exchange one package, I can give you a discount of 90 packages of primary fertilizer. But I want to exchange it for a delicious meal. The tree lover said okay. Then, 2 packages of high-grade fertilizers popped up in the transaction panel. Lu Shu only needs to put 180 bags of primary fertilizer and a piece of delicious food into the transaction box to complete the transaction. This is equivalent to a delicious meal and a net profit of 20 packs of primary fertilizer. Moreover, This is still under the situation that high-end fertilizers are priced but not available. After completing the exchange, it can be said that the profit is not too much. Under normal circumstances, it is doubtful whether 100 packets can be exchanged for one packet of high-grade fertilizer. In the current market, the price will definitely increase. I have to say, working with Mu Tingfeng is really a very comfortable thing. After Mu Tingfeng completed the exchange, she felt heartbroken. Even for her, a bag of premium fertilizer is hard to come by. However, in order to establish a good relationship with Lu Shu, Mu Tingfeng felt that this deal was still necessary. Although it is a loss. Forget it, let's eat. Mu Tingfeng opened the braised pork. A scent of aroma came to her nostrils, which made her depressed mood disappear instantly. This taste. Mu Tingfeng's expression suddenly shook. As she gently took a bite, the delicious food that she might not have dreamed of in the sacred tree island penetrated into her mouth, as if she had arrived in a fairyland on earth. So delicious. Mu Tingfeng instantly felt that the deal was worth it. It's just 20 packs of primary fertilizer, and you don't have to compete with those tentacle monsters for hand speed. How comfortable it is. If you can eat such a delicious meal every day, you seem to have died without regrets. A piece of delicious food can be exchanged for primary fertilizer. Not only does it have top-notch aura food, but its combat power is also unfathomable and has received millions of ratings. This guy is simply not playing the same game as us. Mu Tingfeng couldn't help but sigh. She suddenly realized that the tree raider was becoming more and more mysterious. Got 2 packs of high-grade fertilizer. Lu Shu smiled softly. With Mu Tingfeng as a stable source of supply, he would not be short of high-grade fertilizers in the future. Anyway, as an organizational leader, Mu Tingfeng must have more resources than imagined. At this moment, Lu Shu, a reminder came to my ears. The Grey Realm has been reopened, and the Divine Tree Master can continue to explore the Grey Realm. Is it open? After the first invasion of the Grey World, Lu Shu now knows the rules of the Grey World. In order to become stronger quickly, Lu Shu will choose to conquer more difficult and stronger dungeons. In this world, one can achieve the first place in the list. It doesn't mean anything, it just needs to progress faster than others. The confrontation between the Sacred Tree Masters may not be the same as the confrontation against the monsters from the Grey World. Otherwise, when the Grey World invades and the Sacred Tree Islands are connected together, if the strength is not as good as the opponent, everything gained before will be in vain. Therefore, when the Grey World opens, Lu Shu immediately sent a clone, leading Pikachu and Yumi's troops, into the Grey World. And after the Grey World invasion, he got the Scepter Torch X1 and the Scepter Fire Candle X10, expanded Lu Shu's field of vision to 65 meters. The moment he stepped into the Grey World, suddenly, Lu Shu found that the Grey World became a little different. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 50. When Lu Shu stepped into the Grey World, he found that the location where he appeared was the original Magic Sound Holy City. He looked back and saw that the Holy City of Magic Sound had disappeared. The original copy location has now become the edge of the Grey World. After the dungeon of Grey Realm is cleared, will the dungeon here be refreshed every time Grey Realm invades? Lu Shu saw this clue. He raised the scepter and torch. When he came, Lu Shu had already integrated all the fire sources. The field of vision increased to 65 meters, and the range of perception suddenly became much wider. However, Lu Shu did not take it lightly just because his vision had improved. The next place he was going to was the abyss-level Castlevania. The demonic sound saint could only be killed so easily when her island had a holy water channel. The danger coefficient of the Magic Sound Holy City is only a level. But the danger coefficient of Castlevania has reached S level. Once it reaches S level, the difficulty will also change. Of course, the higher the danger, the higher the reward. And profits. Pikachu cooperates with UMI, and the comprehensive potential reaches SS level, giving Lushu the confidence to attack Castlevania. In addition, the clone has 100% of the strength of the original body, plus the innate realm cultivation and shadow as an assassin's secondary profession. Lushu can also minimize risks and losses by sending his avatar to gather information. After a day and a half of traveling, in front of Lushu, a magnificent demon gate appeared. Through this door, there is Castlevania inside. This city is majestic and magnificent, and its area is much larger than the previous difficult level dungeon. Lushu found a safe place and left a teleportation array first so that he could come back at any time later. Then walk towards the door. At this moment, 2 magic soldiers wearing armor were guarding the door. Guardian Demon Soldier. Category, Demon. Danger Coefficient, A. Perception Range, 50 meters. Power, 200. Speed, 150. Defense, 220. Skills, Demon Armor Shield, Demon Blade Slash, Summon Generals. Description: ordinary soldiers in Castlevania, although their strength is not very strong, there are many. The properties are very high. Lushu frowned slightly. He is just a soldier, and his attributes are equivalent to the boss in hard mode. Of course, there is nothing special about their skills, and they are definitely not as difficult as melee in Red and Kaihi in Evil Spirits. To deal with it, however, calling the generals is a very troublesome skill. Once the demon soldiers are attacked, they will call their nearby accomplices. At that time, Lushu will face the pursuit of the entire Castlevania demon soldiers. Kill. You must kill before the opponent activates the Call the Generals skill. Yumai, possess me. Shu ordered. A Yumai quickly flew to Lushu, and a shadow of a cat appeared behind him. The attributes were improved, then Lushu activated the ability of the Shadow Assassin. The Dead Soul Sword in his hand began to split into pieces one after another. This was not over yet. A shadow of dark night suddenly fell on Lushu, and these blades were immediately hidden in the night. There seemed to be a slight sound of blades breaking through the air. The next second, the 2 demon soldiers standing at the door suddenly had fragments of the Dead Soul Sword on their bodies. The blade appeared too suddenly. They didn't even react, and their throats were sealed to death on the spot, unable to say a word. You killed the guarding demon soldier, and your high-level soul at 1. Do you want to consume high-level souls to obtain the opponent's soul disguise? Yes. The next second, Lushu unlocked the disguise mode of Guard Demon Soldier. Once unlocked, you only need to consume primary souls to disguise yourself. Anyway, there were too many primary souls to use up now, so Lushu immediately entered the disguise state. Come to the city gate. On a straight avenue, there were 2 rows of magic soldiers standing on both sides. This road is over 1,000 meters long. There are a total of more than 2,000 guard demon soldiers guarding this gate. It's enough to show how tightly guarded Castlevania is. The 2 demon soldiers at the door can be killed quietly, but the 2,000 guard demon soldiers behind the door cannot be killed casually. Even the 1,000 blades of the demon sword cannot kill so many enemies in an instant. At this time, there was a sound in Lushu's ear. Ding! Your shadow fruit has reached maturity. Sacred Tree Island. Lushu's body went to the Dark Night Island through the teleportation array. The new fruits of the night are ripe. The growth point of the Dark Night Sacred Tree has also reached more than 3,000 points. There are only 2 days left to upgrade to an intermediate spiritual tree. I don't know if I can reach the next level by taking this fruit. Lushu thought. After all, the current Dark Night Sacred Tree is still a primary spiritual tree, and the fruit's effect is not that high. For any profession, reaching the master level is already quite high. At this level, you may need to eat more than one to upgrade. More fruits are needed. Or the divine tree has evolved to produce higher grade fruits. Pick the dark night fruit. 3 times and 5 times divided by 2. Lushu will put the whole fruit into his mouth. A prompt will pop up in front of him. You swallowed a dark night fruit and strengthened to the second stage of master level. Get a new skill, Night Hide. Obtain available skill points, 2. Then, a description of a new skill appeared in front of Lushu. Night Concealment, LV1 in the night, summon the darkness to cover a 5-meter radius around you at this time. You will gain the sneaking effect you cannot be perceived. Launching an attack will exit stealth. To put it simply, this is a group stealth skill. Lushu was worried about how to send 100 Pikachus in, but this skill came out. The 5-meter range is a bit small, try upgrading it. Spend a skill point to upgrade Night Concealment to LV2, and the concealment range will immediately increase to 10 meters. Pikachu's body is relatively short. A concealment range of 10 meters is enough. Uamai can possess Pikachu. Lushu judged the skills and felt that Night Stealth level 2 was almost enough, so he did not choose to add more points. Therefore, Lushu still focused on the remaining skill point on the demonic Thousand Blades. The demonic Thousand Blades arrived LV7, but the improvement effect is much slower. Upgrading one level only increases the damage by 2%. Open the panel. Occupation. Name, Shadow Assassin. Level, Master. Attributes, Attack Power add 70, Speed add 120, Dodge add 40. Stage, Second Stage, beyond the 5th stage, reaching the Grand Master level. Skills. Shadow Movement Speed, LV2 transform into a shadow, movement speed add 50. Integrate into the night, LV2 in the dark, blend into the night, immune to 80% of physical damage, movement speed add 10. Shadow Escape, LV2 perform a teleport within a range of 100 meters. Demonic Thousand Blades, LV7 your weapon blade can be split into 1,000 fragments, each fragment causing 22% damage to the enemy. Night Concealment, LV2 in the night, summon the darkness to cover a 10-meter radius around you at this time. You will gain a stealth effect and cannot be sensed. Launching an attack will exit stealth. Available skill points, 0. Grey World. Castlevania. Lushu sent a new clone and came to the city gate through the teleportation array. This is the benefit of the teleportation array. If something happens, adjustments can be made immediately without any delay. The new clone has learned the new skill of Night Concealment. Use night cover to hide. A dark night atmosphere immediately emerged around Lushu. Then, within a radius of 10 meters, all Pikachu entered the stealth state. And since Uamai possessed Pikachu, she naturally also suffered this effect. Try it first and see if it works. Lushu did not act rashly, but sent a Pikachu to follow him to a guardian demon soldier and wandered around for a few times. The effect was obvious. The dozens of guardian demon soldiers nearby were completely there was no movement at all. Credibility was confirmed. Lushu immediately led 100 Pikachu, and under the protection of Nighthide, walked towards the depths of Castlevania. Smoothly cross the city gate road filled with magic soldiers. Castlevania inside, monsters scattered here and there. The scope here is huge. Lushu held up the scepter and torch. Although the 65-meter range was not small, it was difficult to find out the surrounding situation clearly. Because the Castlevania was so big, he could only confirm that he had probably arrived at an empty square. There were no iconic buildings around, and he didn't know what he would encounter if he walked in a certain direction. With the thought in his mind, Lushu took out the Marauder's map. Do you want to consume Intermediate Soul X1 and display it for 5 minutes? Yes. The next second. On this parchment roll, a bunch of dense red dots began to appear. Lu Shu found that the density of enemies was not very high within a radius of about 1 kilometer from him. Usually they are Castlevania residents. Most of the danger coefficients of these monsters are around E level. Their danger and combat effectiveness are not high, but if they are killed rashly, they may be seen by other magic soldiers. In the eastern and central areas, there are dense red dots. It seems that the density of monsters is very high. It is probably the main city of Castlevania. Lu Shu didn't plan to go there for the time being. The number of red dots in the west is relatively sparse. Let's go there first. Lu Shu plans to explore all the monster types in Castlevania first, and then take action. Tip: you have arrived at the neutral monster copy of Castlevania, Demon Farm. Through the search torch. In front of Lu Shu, a wasteland appeared. Weeds grow beneath our feet. At this time, a message pops up in front of you. Tip: 65 meters ahead, a Western demonic cow appears. Western demonic cow. Category: Demon. Danger coefficient: A. Perception range: 40 meters. Power: 220. Speed: 130. Defense: 310. Skill: Savage Crash. Description: the special demon of the Western demonic cow, their meat is very delicious, but when it gets angry, it will explode with terrifying fighting power. Neutral monster. Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. The scope of Castlevania is too large. This city alone is equivalent to the sum of several difficult level dungeons. There are even neutral monster dungeons. The Devil's Farm is the Western demon cow in the territory. This kind of monsters are generally not as dense as the magic soldiers, so they can be killed one by one. In this case, Lu Shu started killing them freely here. UMI, possess Pikachu. Pikachu, use 100,000 volts. Attack the Western demonic cow. The battle order was given. Pikachu suddenly appeared from the night, and his figure turned into lightning, and he immediately came to the side of the Western demon bull. 100,000 volts. Zizz. Zizz. The sound of violent electric currents sounded. The Western demonic cow roared angrily. After suffering such a large number of lightning attacks, it was still alive. I can only say that it is really rough and thick. Natural superpower resistance. Looking at the prompt in front of him, Lu Shu immediately said, Pikachu, use the ability of the shock fruit. Since the Western demon bull is resistant to thunder and lightning, Lu Shu directly chose to use physical attacks. When we arrived at Castlevania, the monsters here were all demons. The lightning power does not do much damage to the demons, but physical attacks can have an effect. There is no need to say more about how strong the physical attack of the Zhen Zhen fruit is. Boom! A loud noise like a landslide echoed around. This Western demonic bull could not withstand the power of the shaking fruit and died instantly. You killed the Western magic cow and got special beef X1. Special grade beef. Type: ingredients. Description: a high-end ingredient. If it is cooked in the correct way, you can hardly imagine how delicious the meat will be. What a good thing. Lu Shu's eyes suddenly lit up. The pork obtained at the Death Manor has almost been used up. These ingredients can all be exchanged for fertilizer. Moreover, the ingredients dropped by the Western demon cow are also special grade beef, by the pork is even more advanced. If you are used to eating braised pork, it would be nice to try a steak instead. Leading a large army of 100 Pikachus, Lu Shu launched another round of killings in this manner. You killed the Western magic cow and got special beef X1. You killed the Western magic cow and got special beef X1. Prompts kept popping up in front of my eyes. After half a day of sweeping, I used the Marauders map again. Lu Shu discovered that most of the Western demonic cows around him had been killed by him. However, Deep in the farm, there is a big red dot. There are also many small red dots surrounding it, which are ordinary Western magic cows. Lu Shu activated Night Hide and went to check out the situation first. Tip: 65 meters ahead, the boss of Demon Manor, the Western Demon Bull King appears. Western Demon Bull King. Category: Demon. Danger coefficient: A+. Perception range: 100 meters. Power: 510. Speed: 230. Defense: 710. Skills: Hostile Perception, Brutal Collision, Horn Crushing, Demon Cow Roar, Demon Armor. Description: Western Demon Bull the King is a special race refined by the demons, with high-level demon blood. It was created by the demons and seemed to have another purpose. It was guarding a certain place on behalf of the demons. When Lu Shu approached, the Demon Bull King suddenly let out a roar. Warning: the Western Demon Bull King triggers the passive Hostile Perception and is aware of your presence.